Good morning. Leland Melvin is now 57 years old, but he grew up in the small town of Lynchburg, Virginia. Back when he was a boy, he remembers very well being at home with a black and white TV set with his mom and dad watching Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin land and walk on the moon. It was after that all of his buddies, young kids, were all running around saying how they wanted to be astronauts. But not Leland. No, it just so happened they had a neighbor who lived down the street, a man named Arthur Ashe. He was an incredible tennis player. Leland is African American. And he looked at Arthur Ashe, the phenomenal tennis player, and his dad talked about what an incredible athlete he was, what a great human being he was. And that's what Leland wanted to be, a tennis player. Well, the other thing he had a love and life for, though, was that as a young boy he had been given a chemistry set. And he would go out and play with his chemistry set, and he learned early on how he could mix certain chemicals together and blow things up. He thought that was so great. Well, as he got older, he became an athlete, actually became a football player, got a scholarship to Richland University to go play football. And his major was chemistry. Went and got a chemistry degree, and then he went and got his master's in material science. When he graduated at Richland, he actually got drafted by the Detroit Lions in the NFL. He went to their training camp, and there he was practicing with them, and he pulled a hamstring. Well, he was out, and they cut him and didn't take him on. He rehabbed, and the next year he was picked up by the Dallas Cowboys. He got to go to training camp again, and this time in his other leg he pulled a hamstring. And that was the end of his career. He was looking for something to do, and it was a friend who said, I could get you on at NASA, doing some different administrative work. And so he went to NASA and began working, and then a friend came to him one day and said, you ought to be an astronaut. And he said, I can't be an astronaut. And why not? He said, look at me. I'm black. You don't see black astronauts. It was a year later. They were handing out applications again, and he decided to try. And he got accepted into the program. I couldn't help but think how often you and I limit ourselves. We limit ourselves because we think about our gender or our race, our talents, our injuries. We seem to limit ourselves in terms of what we think that we can be. In the end, Leland became an astronaut, just like he'd been seeing so long ago with Neil and Buzz. And before he knew it, he was flying into outer space aboard the space shuttle and going to the International Space Station to live on the International Space Station and work. He would actually go there twice. He finally retired from being an astronaut, and today he works at NASA in the Educator Astronaut Program, where he goes around talking to schools and students, and whether they're in high school or going to colleges, and just talking about life and all the roadblocks that can come. It made me think about the Apostle Paul when he would say, I've not that I complain of want, for I have learned in whatever state I am to be content. I know how to be abased, and I know how to abound. And in all circumstances I have learned the secret of facing plenty and hunger, abundance and want. I can do all things through Jesus Christ who strengthens me. Be careful that you and I don't limit ourselves. Instead, we look to Christ to lead us into the future. For truly it is in Christ that we may find ourselves being called into the stars. Have a good day.